Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Oh Carbs Delicious. My name is CJ and today I'm gonna show you how to make my favorite banana bread. Normally my husband, he doesn't eat sweets, but for this he makes an exception because it's so good. It's actually a dark chocolate walnut banana bread made with oat flour, so it's healthy-ish because it also doesn't contain any sugar. It just has some honey and most of the sweetness comes from the overripe bananas. These are the ingredients that we're gonna need to make 1 loaf of banana bread. So this is oat flour, like I said before, but you can substitute with all-purpose flour or whole wheat flour, your choice. I've made it with all-purpose flour before and it's still super yum. We're gonna need some baking soda, a teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt to enhance the flavor, unsweetened cacao powder, dark chocolate chips, some chopped walnuts, of course bananas, 3 ripe bananas, the riper the better because they'll become sweeter over time. As for the wet ingredients, honey, Greek yogurt. You can use full fat or low fat or anything in between, it's up to you. This is plain low fat, but you can also use vanilla flavored because we're gonna add some vanilla in the banana bread as well, so you might as well use vanilla flavored Greek yogurt, and 2 room temperature eggs. That's it. That's all the ingredients that we're gonna need. Alright, so this is a very simple recipe. You don't need any fancy kitchen equipment, no mixer, there's no kneading involved. All you need is a big bowl and a fork to smush the bananas, and a baking pan and an oven, of course. That's it. So first of all, we're gonna start by preheating our oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius. Because by the time we're done with our batter, hopefully the oven is preheated and we can just pop the baking pan in the preheated oven. So the very first thing I do is I take my overripe bananas, the riper the better. So break them up, break them apart, because it'll be easier to smush them. And then take your fork, or if you have a potato masher, you could use that as well. But I'm just gonna use a fork today, because it's easy enough. Especially if they're very ripe, the bananas, then it's just easy peasy. No any hard labor involved. It's okay to leave some chunks in the batter. It's not a big deal because it's not really a cake. It's a banana bread, right? So you should have something that resembles this, okay? And then what I usually do is I mix in all the wet ingredients and then all the dry ingredients. So this is 1 egg, the second one, up, and then the Greek yogurt. Make sure all your ingredients are at room temperature. You wanna get your eggs out of the fridge about 2 hours in advance so they can come to room temperature. Or if you're in a pinch, you can also put your eggs in warm water for a few minutes. That will do the trick. As well, our liquid honey. This is about 1/3 of a cup. I don't like to make it too sweet. So if you like to put more, it's up to you. I find 1/3 of a cup just about right. Not too overpowering sweet. Just sweet enough. especially if you use super ripe bananas. All the sweetness will come from the bananas. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then our dry ingredients. This is about 1.3 cups of oat flour, but like I said before, you can also substitute with all-purpose flour, then it's just 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I will list the recipe, all the ingredients in the description down below as well. The cocoa powder, make sure you use unsweetened cocoa powder or cacao powder, I don't know. Some say cocoa powder, some say cacao powder, I don't know. You know what I mean. Okay. Okay. So about 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt to enhance the flavor, and then just mix. Just fold in the dry ingredients until it's evenly combined. Don't over mix it. Just make sure there are no any dry patches anymore in the batter. Okay, so you might want to use a spatula for this. I think it'll be easier than the fork. Yummy. Okay, I think this is good. And then I like to keep about a handful of walnuts and dark chocolate chips to, whoop, there goes a piece of walnut, to top the banana bread off later, to top off the banana bread. Yeah, it's your choice. You can just dump everything in the batter as well. It's up to you. Something like this maybe. Yup. And then mix everything again until it's evenly combined. Don't over mix it. I think this is good. Now, all that's left to do is dump this batter in a baking pan, and that's it. I'm using a 9 by 5 inch baking pan, but you can use 8 by 4. It will be a little bit taller, or you can use a muffin pan, fill it about 3/4 of the height, and reduce the baking time, of course. For a 9 by 5 baking pan, I bake mine about 45 to 50 minutes, but it depends from oven to oven. I would say check after the 45 minutes mark. Some oven may take 50 minutes or up to an hour. Just check about the 45 minutes mark. So I'm gonna grease my pan a bit with a baking spray, but if you don't have a baking spray, you can also just use softened butter and sprinkle with some flour to prevent sticking. And then you can either just dump the batter directly in your baking pan, or if you're like me and you like to top it off with these dark chocolate chips and walnuts, chopped walnuts, then what I do is I put a piece of parchment paper in the baking pan, and then I put the batter on top of it. So it's easier to take the banana bread out of the baking pan without destroying the top, if you know what I mean. Because yeah, when it's done and you have to flip it, then my experience is all the toppings get destroyed. So this is what I do. You want to grease the pan a bit so that the parchment paper sticks to the pan. Alright, I think we're ready. Just even it out with your spatula and then top it off with our chocolate chips and chopped walnuts. Et voila! This is going into the oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius for 45 to 55 minutes, and I'll see you back later. Look at that! Can you see? So now we have to let it cool off for a few minutes. I would say 5 to 10 minutes maybe, and then we can let it completely cool off on a wire rack, a cooling rack, and then dig in. That's the most difficult part. You have to wait until it has cooled off, and then you can dig in.
Time to eat the best banana bread ever. Finally. I've been waiting for this like for an hour or something. It started like an hour ago.
Okay.
Okay. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. You go first. Because I actually already ate a piece.
That's just cruel.
A small piece.
Good.
How do you like it with the oat flour? Because I made it with all-purpose flour before. Do you taste any difference?
Just a little bit. Still good. I like the nuts.
Gives that extra crunch, right?
Mm-hmm. It's walnut, right?
Yeah.
Tasty. Good chocolate.
It's dark chocolate.
This is the Belgian one we had.
Mm-mm. It's Hershey's. Chip
Yeah.
it!
It's still good.
I couldn't find Calabat chocolate in the superstore. They only have Calabat chocolate at certain supermarkets.
We'll have to import it next time we go back to Belgium.
Import.
Take it with us. After the pandemic. Good.
We already ate half of the bread.
We regret it later.
If you enjoyed watching this video, consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is up. Throw a little love to this video by giving it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye!